This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. Hey everybody, Carm Capriato, Remarkable Results Radio and another Town Hall Academy. I've got an incredibly great show for you. Did you ever wonder why coaches used to own shops, then they got into coaching, and then now, God, there's a trend going on. They're starting to buy shops again. I can't wait to dive into this. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for all these great years and listening to this great episodic education. Some really big announcements coming up very soon. But please support our great partners that bring you this great episodic education. NAPA Tracks, today's class, KUKUI, and Pit Crew Loyalty. Hey, did you know that NAPA Tracks has on-site training plus 6-day-a-week support? Well, it all starts when a local representative meets with you to learn about your business and how you run it. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice. Let us prove to you that Trax is the single best shop management system in the business. Find NAPA Trax on the web at napatrax.com. Ready to optimize with today's class? Boy, listen to an episode we did with David Boyes. Great program. Roll out a training plan for your automotive shop. In just 5 minutes daily, boost knowledge, retention, and improve team performance. Start seeing results today. Join your peers at todaysclass.com. Shop owners, stop juggling multiple marketing tools. KUKUI's integrated platform, they deliver 4 times better website conversions, automated follow-up, and real-time ROI tracking. Get industry-leading customer support with KUKUI. That's KUKUI.com. You're probably tired of chasing new customers who never return. We understand. Pit Crew Loyalty ends the one-and-done cycle, turning first visits into lasting, reliable revenue. On the web at pitcrewloyalty.com. Hey, everybody, let's get started. Look at this guest list. Can you... Oh, my God. Chris Cotton. Oh, wait a minute. 30 pounds down.
It's less of me, right? I'm here,
Yes,
but it's
right.
less of me.
Yeah, please don't stand sideways because I may not see you.
Oh, no, there's still plenty there. Trust me.
Good to see you, Chris Cotton, AutoFix Auto Shop Coaching, the weekly Blitz podcast on the Auto Repair Podcast Network and AutoShopCoaching.com. Hello, Chris.
Hey, everybody. Good to be here finally.
Good. Clint White's here, Coaching with Integrity, coachingwithintegrity.llc. And I mean, yes, they're all now shop owners. That's why they're all here. Hey, Clint.
Hello, Carm. Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Glad you're here. Brian Gillis is here, Chief UNet Results Strategist, unetresults.com, and recent shop owner. God, I'm sorry. You've all coached countless shops, lots of owners to success, but now you've stepped back into ownership yourself. What made you guys take this leap? Maybe you missed being in the trenches. Chris?
I missed it, but I'm a full-on absentee owner, right? So I'm not really there any negligible amount. Like I go in on Mondays, and like yesterday I went in, we had our monthly team meeting. I walked around, asked everybody how they're doing, made sure there weren't any problems, and then came home. For me, it was fuel for the podcast, right? Like there's so much I get out of this that I can take and do podcast episodes on.
Yeah.
Number 2, there was a need, like and you and I have done an episode before on this, older gentleman that wanted to get out, and there were like no buyers in the area. The silver tsunami's happening, and it was really too good a deal in the end to pass up. So like, somebody has to do it. So might as well be me. And then I don't know, like I just opened a second shop like 2 weeks ago. So I don't even think we've talked about that. Or the last time we talked, Carm, maybe it was on the radar.
Yeah, I think you were kind of giving us a prelude that it may happen soon. And
yeah,
good for you. Now from 0 to 2 in about a year, Chris?
Yep, less than a year.
All right. So did you miss being in the trenches, Clint?
Yeah, absolutely. It's all I know. I've been doing this over 30 some odd years, started in the, early 90s, mid 90s, and I enjoy coaching. I love coaching. I've been doing that since, 2019. So I guess I'm fairly new to the coaching industry, 6-7 years. And I just missed being in the environment. Number one, I love interacting with the public. I love helping people. That's probably my biggest, most prominent trait, is having a servant's heart. I love to serve. And frankly, I didn't want to become that coach. The outdated back when I had a shop in 83. It doesn't work. So I needed to be current. And my clients, I think, appreciate the fact that I'm putting into practice the things that have previously worked and still do work.
Interesting. Hey, Brian,
Hey,
how about you? Wow, were you sweating? I need to get back in.
you work with your clients and you hear the stories. And yeah, I absolutely missed it. I was looking forward to getting back into the trenches. And I think, like Clint said, it's going to make you a little more of an effective coach. Things happen so fast and it's not the same as it was 5 years ago. And
Mhm.
so now you get to kind of practice what you preach or, walk the talk, so to speak. And I believe it's going to make me a more effective coach because I'm involved with it, day in and day out. And as rapidly as technology moves forward, we just have to be on top of it. What better way?
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Brian, what did the family say when you said, "Hey, I'm buying a shop"?
Oh, my wife she was thrilled about it. She's like, "Oh, good, because sometimes you're at the house too much, and now you get out of here and go find something to do." And she's thrilled about it, and she's involved as well too. So
That is not the same reaction I got when I first talked about it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, she was happy
Well,
about it. For me to get out and not just because you as coaches, a lot of us our offices are at home. We do travel
Mhm.
for events and things of that nature, but for a large part of the time, we're at home. So in her mind, I didn't work much, in her opinion.
Oh,
So she was happy to see me do something else. So and I'm enjoying it.
okay, Chris, finish that line.
Well, when I found out the shop was available, first thing I did was ask Kimberly, and Kimberly was like, as long as I don't have anything to do with it, it's fine. Like, whatever. Like,
wow.
and I don't want you to have to be there all the time because gosh, we travel so much. And we bought the location, was there for 2 weeks, and then Kimberly and I left town for a month and basically just said, "Hey guys, this is it. I'm giving you the opportunity to run your own shop. Here it is. I'll take care of all the backside. I got to go." And I dipped on them
Mhm.
for a month.
Wow.
And I think Kimberly likes as far as like the logo design, the colors, the uniforms. She's kind of got into that the first time, and then the cleanup. Kimberly's. If you had her in a housing crew, you'd want her on the demo crew, not the finished carpenter crew. So she's all about demo, and then just like, here, finish it off. And then the same
Got it.
thing when we started work with the second shop is, logo design, just finished up the website, everything else. And I think she gets into that. So
Good
maybe,
for her.
yeah. The other thing I would say that I didn't bring up the first time is, it gives us an opportunity to diversify as well. Like all of our chickens or all of our eggs, chickens, whatever, are not in the coaching basket. Not that they don't need to be there, but if anything ever happened, now you've got another business that you can use to your disposal or another one. Like, we had such a good turnaround with the first one that it's paid for debt free, and we use that cash flow to do the second one.
Mhm.
And when that turns around or gets going, the thing about number two is we started from scratch. We didn't buy an existing location. So it's been kind of like a different learning curve. But,
Mhm.
you're self funding the next effort through your previous efforts.
I got to
So
ask you a quick question, Chris, about Shop One. I mean, you got a great deal. You paid it off. I think you told me in 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
Are there opportunities like that around the country for clients like yours?
Yeah, everywhere. Like you just have to be open for them. Like I've probably had 3 more people reach out to me within like a 75-mile radius now because they've heard our story, and then we're in the community. They talk to the BG rep, and then they talk to other people, and they're like, "Man, I want to get out too. I'm 75 years old. Like maybe I'll call Chris."
Wait a minute. Here's his new nickname, Coach Private Equity Chris Cotton.
Well, I keep thinking if I mention this enough that somebody's going to be like, "Hey, Chris, here's like $2 million. Go scoop up as many shops as you can." But nobody's taking me up on that.
Gosh.
It would pay off quickly, I would think. So
Yeah.
So what's it feel like being on the other side again, Clint?
I absolutely love it. Absolutely. It's where I belong. Now, I'm a little different than Chris. I am hands-on day in and day out mentoring. Again, that's part of who I am. Mentoring and training and bringing up the next generation of specialists in our shop, as well as throwing people in the fire that didn't want to be there. You'd mentioned, the wives, and my wife has had nothing to do with the automotive industry ever. And yes, I have a home office, and she hears every coaching session I've ever done. And so when I said, hey, I'm going to buy a shop, I just think we should, and I miss it. And she said, okay, I don't want anything to do with it. And I said, oh, no. I'm going to need you there. I love that proof of concept, where having heard the scripts and heard the processes for years, I literally threw her on the counter. She sells like amazingly. She's amazing with people. And she looks at me like, why did you buy me a job? She's
Wait,
fantastic.
did you hear what he said? I threw her on the counter.
Yeah.
Just threw her on the counter. She said that you had a role as a husband. You're the primary breadwinner, and I, as the sponsored wife, and the primary bread loser. And we've changed that. So she comes to work with me. It's fantastic.
Brian, what was your biggest surprise?
Wow, I tell you, my biggest surprise was not being able to take care of myself as much because, one of the things I was doing when all I was doing was my coaching company was I had time to go to the gym and, I could prepare my meals. And so that was probably the biggest thing that I had to adjust to was carving out the time, putting it on my schedule to hit the gym, to eat right. It's real easy to, oh, let me get something quick and fast that's terrible for you. And so that was the biggest probably transition for me. The biggest struggle was fitting that into my life when I added on the shop. And like Clint, I'm in the trenches pretty much a lot of the time. My office, this is my office at my shop right now. I'll still do some coaching from the home office, but I mean, that was probably the biggest surprise for me was like, wow, I don't have a lot of time. I really have to be very structured to get everything done.
I find this discussion amazing. Chris, what would Coach Chris do? Did you ever get in a moment that you have your businessman's hat on and you'd say, whoop, what would Coach Chris do?
Yeah, I mean, I have to do that, right? Because you have to, excuse me, you have to pull yourself back out of the shop and be like, what's the right thing to do? Because when you're in the moment and emotions are tied to it, that's what we fight as coaches all the time, right? Is people's emotions and, oh, I've had this employee that's been terrible for 5 years, but they've been an employee for 20 years and I'm not going to let them go. Like you got to pull the emotion out of it. So, you have to keep your coach's hat on and coach yourself through those situations. And same thing with Kimberly. Kimberly's heard me talk to enough people that like we talk about this constantly, everything business wise, but I'll be talking about something and she's like, was that how you would handle it? And then I would tell her what my thoughts are. And she's like, well, I heard you talk to so-and-so and that's not how you told them to handle it. And I'm like, I thought you weren't going to get get but
that's great.
Yeah.
A conscious check.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So be careful what you say around Kimberly.
Right. Yeah. She will use it to beat you with lately.
Clint, you finding it easy to walk your own talk?
I would say 89.6312% of the time, yes. Overwhelming majority of the time, yes. Walking the talk, practicing what has been preached it's just second nature. There are some things that I struggle with, and it has made me, I think, a more vulnerable and valuable coach to be able to tell my clients, hey, listen, I struggled with this exact same thing today. And that's, again, hoping to make me a better coach. So,
Brian, you just put up go ahead.
I was just saying, I think it gives you more power as a coach.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, it's slow, it's this or that. And you're like, no, it's not. I'm doing fine. Like, I don't know what your problem is. Like, we just double down on DVIs and everything else. I think it gives you more power. I was in the circumstance where I was the only coach that works for my company that didn't have a shop. All the other coaches do, and they could use that all the time. And now I can beat people up with it.
Yeah, things happen daily. That's like, oh, you know what? This will be a great meeting topic for us to discuss, with a group meeting or even one-on-ones. I mean, AI, the hot thing right now, right? And how everybody's utilizing it at their shops to help their shops. And so that was something that's like, hey, I can talk about this matter of fact and not just in theory because I'm using it too. And so it's things like that I think help to become a better coach, to better serve my clients. I'm when it's like, hey, let me put on the pads. I'm ready to go in. You know what I mean? And so that's what I certainly enjoy that there.
Hey, let's face it. Your shop management system is the single most important tool in your shop, period. NAPA Trax has made selecting the right shop management system easy by offering the industry's best, most comprehensive SMS. Now, it all starts when a local representative meets with you to learn about your business and how you need to run it. After all, it's your shop, so it's your choice, and having local representation is a huge plus. Customizing Trax to your business, whether you're a one-person shop or a large multi-bay or multi-location company, a representative consults with you to help optimize your shop's workflow, efficiency, and profitability. Trax always has the flexibility to do business how you need to do it, which means it can also grow as your business grows. And unlike the other guys, will be there for you after installation with the best training and support in the business. Yes, a learning management system tailored to each role in your company. Simply put, Trax was designed and built for shop owners just like you. Visit us on the web at NAPA Trax, that's NAPATRACS.com. Transform your team with today's class, where automotive training is easy, quick, and fun. Just 5 minutes a day on our app can eliminate hours of looking up forgotten information later. It's perfect for technicians, advisors, and managers alike. Keep critical knowledge fresh and top of mind, ensuring your team operates at peak efficiency. Today's class is impactful, accessible from anywhere, and a bit of fun too, and we're not talking about after-hours pizza either. For training that gets results, turn to todaysclass.com. Shop owners, we know you are overwhelmed with a flood of missed calls, empty bays, and disconnected marketing tools. KUKUI has spent over a decade building one integrated platform for auto repair shops. One login, one dashboard, and mobile-first websites that convert 4 times industry average. Smart, innovative CRM with automated follow-up, 24/7 online booking, and real-time ROI tracking. With 900-plus years of combined team experience, we fuel the growth of 2,200-plus shops and have influenced $3 billion in revenue. Stop working harder. Start working smarter. Get industry-leading customer support and book a demo with KUKUI. That's KUKUI.com. You know, most shop owners feel trapped, spending on ads while half their first-time customers never come back. It's frustrating. It's exhausting. And it's not your fault. The industry average is 54% one and dones. We understand how discouraging that can be. Well, Pit Crew Loyalty changes the story. Our clients cut that rate by up to 38%, raising lifetime value by more than 50%. Loyalty members visit nearly 3 times more often, creating predictable revenue without extra ad spend. Pit Crew Loyalty, where customers stay and shops thrive. On the web at pitcrewloyalty.com. How do your people react to the fact that they know you're a coach? Do they expect something better, different? Are they open? Are they reactive? Anything?
As far as like your employees, the
Yeah, they know
technicians.
they know you're a coach. They know you're an expert.
I think it was
Right.
helpful for me. We just opened, we're still inside of our first 90 days. We'll be 3 months old, middle of this month. And, so I had to do quite a bit of interviewing, quite a
Mhm.
bit of recruiting and so forth to build my team from scratch. And we're the only ones out here. There's no other, we don't have another brand like this in this whole state. And so no one ever heard of us. So I think it helped me with some credibility when I'm doing my interviewing and bringing on talent, bringing on great people. So I think for me it was helpful that I do coach as well as opening a shop.
Well, so, several of my employees listen to the podcast every week. So if I say something in there and contradict myself, then they're like, "Hey, what the hell?" The other thing that's been really interesting is we have a better staff now than we did a year ago. The staff is great and we're doing some great things. But I've had a lead technician stop in the middle of the meeting and be like, "You young guys don't understand how good this is and how great we have it here." And then he'll be like, "Listen to what he just said." And it'll be something that I was talking about. He's like, "I've worked at like 12 other shops and I've never heard an owner say that, talk to us like that, or include us like that ever." And so that's been pretty good and pretty big. And that's the other thing. Like I would say we have a name in the community now for, having a great shop that people want to work at. That's how we ended up, we covered this already, but that's how we ended up opening 7 days a week, is because we had enough people that wanted to work for us that that were like, well, I want to work for you. Let's figure out how to do it. And I'm like, okay, the only way to do it is to be open 7 days a week. And, there we are. But
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. How much of this, guys, is a learning lab for you?
All of it.
yeah, all of it.
Everything.
Yeah, the whole thing, everything. Yeah, absolutely. You're running everything through the litmus test, the proof of concept, and the things that you thought you knew that you didn't know. And it just every single day there's something that I grow from, I glean from, I learn from. I would prefer it that way. Yeah, I think I'd be bored if I walked in and everything was just perfect. And then I know what I'm doing. I don't need any training. I don't need any. No, I need to learn. So, absolutely.
I find it so interesting to think that if you were coaching me, Chris, and I would, don't ask me why, but I think I would be excited to spend my time with you each and every month to not only have you continue to guide me, be my accountability partner, and all the great things that coaching relationships have, but me sitting on the sidelines and says, "What's new at the shop, Chris?"
Right. And to go into what Brian was talking about with AI, we tried some stuff and was hopeful that it was going to work out, and it just really didn't. AI is not to the point yet, or people are not to the point yet to where they want to just be contacted through technology. They want a phone call. They want to talk to somebody. And I think that was interesting because we're going to have to see how that plays out. Being the absentee owner, I don't get any softballs. Like the only stuff that makes it to me is the hard stuff, right? Like I have a general manager, I have people there, they take care of 99% of the stuff, but the 1% that does get to me is usually, hey, I want to fire this somebody, or I want to do this, or we had this situation, or we got a 1-star review. How should we reply to it? That's the, I don't know the downside of it, but that's, when you get to the point to where you're an absentee owner, you have to really kind of think about that for what it is and be like, hey, you're going to get the hard stuff. That's what you're there for.
I'll say about the AI deal, so I wouldn't use it either, Chris, to answer my phones ever. Nobody wants that car as much as this guy. So
Yeah.
we answer our own phones, but we'll use it to help build smart jobs and things like that. Maybe some SOPs and things of that nature that it can put together information. I've used it to help with training material, like, hey, what are the benefits of servicing your power steering fluid system, right? And so we could use that as training material. I could write it, might take me half the day. This 30 seconds later, there it is. So that's how we utilize that tool over here.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to. I've heard the phones are still a little glitchy, so I'm with you there.
Yeah.
To my point, I was basically talking about the client, your clients. You're a proving lab for them, and they probably want to. Not only are you working closely with them, but they probably
Mhm.
want to know, what are you discovering? What's going on at your shop?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's daily, absolutely daily. There are things that we encounter that we're all in this together. We all have I guess, the same challenges and struggles. And whether you're present every day, whether you're absentee like Chris, I still write service, I still sell, I still answer phones, and I'm able to, with my coaching clients, tie those together literally on the daily. And I find it actually, it's fun. Where in years past, let's just say as an example, I log in with an advisor client, and so we do a check-in and we look at wins and losses and how are things going, what's the vibe in the shop, how's our culture feeling, and it's a standard conversation. And I get that bounce back now with clients. Hey, how's the vibe in your shop, and what are your wins and losses? They want to know, where am I struggling and where am I winning? We meet on this like neutral mutual ground, and it's fantastic to see the growth from that.
Well, you're still on here with me, Clint. Any big surprise of late?
Big surprise. I would say handling some of the volatility. When you become a coach and that's all you do as a coach, it's very easy to say, You're having a slowdown this week because of something you're not doing. This is on you." We don't look at environment. We don't look at economy. We don't look at anything. This is obviously something you're not doing right as a coach. It's easy to say that. But when you're in the trenches and you've got a day where, why'd the phone stop ringing? That was weird. We've been crazy busy. And then that, I know I'm not doing something wrong, I think. Let me go back and reevaluate. But experiencing those true life crash and burn days where just like, how did that happen? That for me is huge.
And I will tell you, like one thing, again, we're using this as an experiment to see what works. One of my other coaches, one of our clients, switched to like the hard plastic mailer cards.
Mhm.
And I've been against mailers forever because the return on investment is just not there and it's hard to track and everything else. And they started having some success with it. So I started sending them out and it's been amazing. And so now we recommend, like, if you want to do direct mail, but use the hard plastic ones. Don't use the paper, the old school ones. And then two, for what we don't specialize, we're general repair and tires, but the Google local service ads was huge. Like, we started that in September of 2024, right when it was turned back on to us. And what we've been able to do is crank that up and then reduce our spend on Google AdWords and some other stuff. So we're spending less money now than we were, but we're having a bigger impact on our marketing. So it's being able to use those marketing dollars better. And so things like that's the reason why I wanted to do that. We find things like that about once a month, like, oh, I would have never done this before. And now it's something that I would recommend.
Brian.
Yes.
7 days a week, maybe?
Well, we're 6. I think 6 is good for me at this time. I also plan on opening up more locations in the future, but for our model, we're going to stay with 6 days.
Would you
I've done
be an
6.
absentee owner? I mean, come on, Chris is absentee. How about you?
I think there's a shift. I'm in my first 90 days, so yeah, I need to be here. I need to make sure we're taking off and things are in the right place. I'm grooming somebody that can run the business. When I open up the second, third location, of course, that's going to change the dynamics in my role. My son works for me, which is something, he's 22. Maybe he's coming up, that's the future as well. And so that's something that, was a big part of my decision as well. It's like, well, I think there's a big future for him.
Got it.
What I could teach him and train him and develop him out as well. So it's definitely got its challenges, but I do enjoy it.
I find it. Thank you, Brian. I find it so interesting that Chris, you, I believe, were absentee within the first couple of weeks, right, Chris?
Well, when we bought it, the plan was to be an absentee owner. So there was never any thought in it to be in it.
Like full time,
more than a couple hours a week or full time. And this was part of like Kimberly's thing too. Like, I told her if I have to be there every day, I've done something wrong. That's what I took into it. But okay, so Brian, I'm going to coach you through the open 7 days a week thing. First of all, you're paying rent 7 days a week. For us, it was interesting. We're in a tourist area, and if you're in our area and you break down at noon on Saturday, you can't even get a phone call through until Monday morning at like 9 a.m. So there was a big void in our area for people traveling through and whatever. And so we kind of leaned into that. And then we had the opportunity to hire on these extra people. So all my people work 4 days on, 3 days off. They work 4 10s. I pay them for lunch, even though they're allowed to take a lunch, and then boom, we're off and going. I hear it people all the time like, oh, we can't do that or could never do that. There's always a way. You just have to figure out how it works for you. So
back in the day, man, we did it for years. I'm very used to the Sunday deal, but it's probably more for me than anything else. Oh, somebody called out sick and now I'm on my way up there. But, maybe in the future, but right now
everything's on the table. Believe it, what I'm hearing from you all. Clint, absentee ever someday? Do you think of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's something that we have a 3-shop goal in 5 years. So not as aggressive as Chris, but we're going to get there. And absolutely, there will come a point in time where my plan is to be able to mentor, teach, train, groom my replacement. I think that's just a concept in life. You should always be looking to train your replacement. And we have a little bit of a different model with ours. And Brian, I could coach you through on a 4-day work week if you'd like. Chris got you on the 7. We do 4 days. We do 4 10s. And my mentality is a little bit different. And again, this is this experimentation of, could we be open 7 days a week? Yeah, sure. I don't need the money. I'm not worried about it. I'm here to facilitate. And again, it's not a criticism. There's the word. It's more so for what we wanted to do. I wanted to have a shop that was the go-to shop to be hired at. And the 4-day work week is one of the pinnacle of one of the reasons why I was able to have my pick of the litter. Now, shop 2 very likely will be open many more days than that, and I will do the split shift rotation like you guys are doing. But for this one here, we're doing 4 10s and absolutely loving it.
Always more than one way to skin a cat, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing. And for us, it wasn't a money grab either. Like, it'd been easy just to been open 4 or 5 days a week. But when I planned it out, when we wrote our core values and everything else, and when we did the copy for the website, one of the things we wanted to do was be able to help the people that travel through our community, because
Yeah, that's awesome.
people spend thousands of dollars to come here and go snow skiing. They spend thousands of dollars to come here and go rafting. And it's, people ask me, was winter busier or summer? And I'm like, yeah, like we don't, like, there's not a downtime. And the other thing is, like, okay, dealerships suck. You call a dealership on a Monday morning and you're broken down in town. They're like, oh, it'll be 3 weeks before I can get your brakes done. Like, are
Yeah.
you freaking kidding me? Like, this is just insane. And
Yeah.
so it was more to help the community than anything else. And I don't know how many people, like, I'll go up on a Saturday and help the guys out, mostly get in the way. But I had people stop me and they're like, hey, you know, thank you so much for being open on the weekend. Like, this was, you provide a great service, and we would have either had to wait during the week or something else. And for us, we're only 4 bays. So we are like we are pressed hard for space and time. And being open on the weekend kind of alleviates that. But also, there's a lot of times where we walk in on Monday morning and our techs have like 6 things to diag because it got dropped off on Sunday and we're trying to get it in. We did that to serve the community, and it served us well. So my original model was to have 6 employees, and now I have 10 full-time employees.
Nice.
Chris, you're, let me assume, general manager of the shop, whatever the title is. Are you coaching that individual as if he was a client?
Honestly, I could probably be doing a better job of that. But yeah, we have a lot of one-on-one sessions where we're talking about things. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, make sure the customer's taken care of, and then let's get together. I might have handled it a different way, but number one, as long as the customer's taken care of, perfect. If I can have people that do it 80% of the way I would want it done, and I can coach the other 20, then I think that's great.
Brian, is your son your GM over there or manager?
No, he's taken a little bit of a different path than myself, and he's on his way to becoming a certified technician. So he's
Awesome.
he's going to be a specialist. But
I
he
love it.
will. He
Thank
does
you.
have the ability. He's been to some of my service advisor classes in the past, so he's that side of it's more natural. But I think that'll be an advantage for him when he does come up, is having that background knowledge in the shop. I never had it.
So Brian, you're doing coaching calls, and it doesn't matter if it's 1 hour a day or 3 days a week, and the shop is there without you. Who's in charge?
So I got my right hand man, Tim. Tim's in charge, and it sometimes is crazy. You got to run in there, pull off the suit, throw on the cape. You know, I keep my hanging right on the old filing cabinets, the change up, right? So there's this guy, and then there's this guy, and so let's go. You know, it's like, hey man, I really need you. Can you help me? I'm like, give me 15 minutes. I'll be right with you. Change shirts, you know.
Imagine imagine hearing the Batmobile pull up.
Changing hats. I love it.
That's it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
and I tell my people all the time, like, if you need me, call me, but try not to need me. And, you know, I did that previously with the other shops. Like, I'm here if you need me, but we're all adults. You all have the authority to do what you need to do.
I love that.
And one thing, Carm, is I just thought of this, something that I don't know how we're doing for time or whatever, but Clint said he had like a 5-year plan. Brian's got something in mind, but I think we should always start something with the end in mind. So I'm going to ask the rest of you guys, what's your exit strategy?
10 years private equity.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's not that firm. You know, like I said, my son's involved, and my goal is that he can eventually, I want to grow it. You know, I'll operate it kind of like a multi-unit, which I've done in the past. And so that's kind of my goal. And then one day hand off the baton to him. I mean, let's face it, I don't think any of us really spring chickens. And so that's my goal, is to have that in the family and be able to hand off the baton to him. And actually, also my daughter, I can't afford her yet, right? But she's got a lot of business smarts, and so she does quite a good job herself in her world. And so when the shops are thriving, then I can make her an offer and get her on board.
She needs to make you an offer.
Well, maybe. She's with one of the big insurance companies, so.
Well, and I think, you know, to Clint's point, there's so much private equity ridiculousness, right? Like people are just throwing insane amounts of money around. Yeah. And the path to selling is, sure, you can sell one shop, but you can get big bucks for 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 or
Right.
more.
Yeah. I've already been
Um,
propositioned at, we've been open almost a year and a half. And I've had literally someone stand in front of me with a checkbook. I'm like, what's your number? And I said, you can't afford me. And I'm not done yet. Go away. They're, I don't want to say anything bad, but they're just like fleas on a dog. They're
Right.
everywhere trying to buy everything up, and they have no idea what they're doing. Some of them have no idea what they're doing, unfortunately.
Hey guys, I
Well,
gotta share. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say, if you think about the levels of it, right? Like we are like at the lowest level possible with minimal amounts of funding. Now, I do know that the government was looking at redoing some SBA stuff for us. They were going to raise it to where you could borrow $5 million to $10 million and then change the down payment from like 15% to lower it. I haven't heard the last week or two if that got through or not. But you have us that are single unit operators, 2-3 unit operators, and then you have a private group of a private equity group that's willing to go buy 3, 5, 10 shops, and they're willing to do that 3 or 4 or 5 times so that they have 20 shops. And then their payoff is selling their group of 20 shops to somebody that has 3 more groups of 20 shops. So at every level, people are just stacking cash right now, and it's just crazy.
I lived through that. It's crazy. It is nuts. But they're out there. And you're right, when you have, more of a group of shops in a marketplace, it's more attractive to the bigger guy. Attorney's fees are pretty much the same. It's just your multiplier goes way up if you're gonna
Right.
Yeah. And I've got a secondary plan so that I'm cloning myself. Everybody that I interview and hire and everyone I have on staff is, I want you to be like Mike. I want you to be able to be ASC certified master tech. I want you to be able to sell like there's no tomorrow. I want you to be able to manage like it's off the, water off a duck's back. I want you to be able to run and or own a shop effectively and profitably. And every single one of my guys has that capability. They're not there yet, but that's my plan B. If private equity doesn't come through, and I don't know what the world's gonna look like in 10 years, I've got guys that'll buy these shops and just continue the legacy. So either one way or the other, we're good.
You're building talent, Clint.
That's the plan.
So let me share with you something that happened to me just 2 days ago. Local news channel and a heating vent HVAC, they go around plumbing furnaces and everything. I've never seen more ads for that industry than ever. This ad came on and it said, did you know that some of your favorite HVAC businesses are no longer owned by the people you think they're owned by?
Interesting.
And the ad said, because private equity is coming and buying them up, and they're just not the same company that you were used to. I'm local. I've been here. I was blown away by the possibility that some of those PE businesses now aren't doing the kind of great work that, believe you me, I know a ton of people in this industry that are inside of private equity, and they're doing really good. I know a ton of them, and I'm not being political. I'm not saying anything negative here, but I was blown away by hearing an ad like that, guys.
I think it's interesting. Like, I also think that not all private equity are bad people, right? Like, there's an economy of scale. Those people are able to buy shops and businesses, but they also do it really, really well. Like, like Starbucks, I can go anywhere and get a cup of coffee, but if I want the same cup of coffee everywhere, then I go to Starbucks because the processes and procedures are dialed in and everything's correct. Like, I can go in somewhere and get a cup of coffee, and who knows if it'll be what I want, but I can pretty much go to any Starbucks across the United States and get the same cup, or if I order it the same way. It would probably also shock you, Carm, how many dealerships own independents in towns. Like, they have two
I know. Oh no, I know.
And so they own the dealerships, but they also own Brian, Chris, and Clint's auto repair down the corner. They just don't tell anybody that.
That's right. I know. I know. Hey, guys, thank you so much. We struggled for like 3 months to pull this team together because of your very difficult schedules. That's hard to do because you guys are so busy. You're running multiple businesses and you have great clients. And I appreciate each one of you to come on. I want to give each of you a final word about this, about the fact that you made this big move in your life, and it's been fun and exciting for you. I'm going to go around the room. I'll do Brian, Clint, and then Chris. Brian Gillis he's the Chief Unit Results Strategist, unitresults.com. And what's the name of the business?
Chloe's Auto Repair and Tire.
Cool.
Chloe's.
Final words, sir.
Yeah. Well, first, thanks for having me on here. And yeah, again, just kind of like I mentioned at the beginning, I felt like it was a great opportunity to help me become a better coach, a little bit more in tune as to what's going on right now, keep up with the right now. I love it. Keeps me busy. And that's what I prefer, just kind of being on my toes, so.
I love that.
Mhm.
Be on my toes. Clint White, Coaching with Integrity, coachingwithintegrity.llc. Chris, or Clint, what's the name of the business?
Integrity Auto Service. Why
I
change things up?
Yeah, I love it.
It just works. So, Carl, I appreciate you having me. And I think I'll throw this out here to the listeners. There's probably somebody that's watching this or listening to this that has been on the cusp of potential shop ownership. I actually get asked that question quite a bit is, what do I need? What do I have to have? What should I do? Should I do it? I'm scared. It's big. And I encourage people that have that dream and that vision to pursue that. And if it's like, it's so easy, a caveman can do it. If I can do this.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry. He says the word caveman, and okay, I get it. Chris Cotton, AutoFix, Auto Shop Coaching, autoshopcoaching.com, and the weekly Blitz podcast on our Automotive Repair Podcast Network. Chris, final word, sir.
I think the big thing is there's tons of opportunity out there, right? Like there are shops that are there are shops that are overpriced in your area, and there are shops that are underpriced, and then there are shops that people just want to get the hell out of their business. And they ran it the same way for 40 years, and they just want out. Those opportunities are out there. You just have to be looking for them, and you have to be open to it. Don't be afraid to walk into somebody's shop and say, hey, I'm interested in buying you out. Is that something you're interested in? And or go into it's kind of like finding technicians, right? Like you ask your tool truck driver, hey, who in town's struggling and wants out? Ask your commercial parts people, hey, who's for sale and wants to move on? In the town that I live in, we've been here 5 years. There's probably been 6 shops that have been sold in that amount of time. I wish maybe I would have been in the buying mood back then to scoop those up, but I wasn't. But it is what it is. I'll also tell you guys, like, our number 2 shop's 4 hours away. So there's no way I can go help bail them out.
Wow.
So
that's interesting.
Just tons of opportunity is what I would say, everybody. Like it's out there. You got to go like little bunny foo-foo. You got to scoop them up and bop them on the head and put them in your basket.
Wow. An absentee owner 4 hours away and a startup.
In a different state. Ugh. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Wow. No wonder why you've lost 30 plus pounds.
I did. I worry.
It's not exercise. It's worrying.
Stress.
I worry less about that shop than I do the first shop.
Wow.
It is what it is. They handle it and they do pretty good. And the other thing is, shop management systems are cloud-based. I can go on my phone and look at the cameras and tell you everything everybody's doing. Yeah. I don't want to say it's so easy a caveman could do it, but maybe it is.
It is.
Oh.
And the other thing I would say is just like anything else, if you know the rules, if you know the game, if you know how to play the game, you can win.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Monopoly, baby. Hey, thanks, Chris, Clint, Brian. Appreciate this. This is great.
Thank you. It's good seeing everybody.
Thank you.